Hey everyone, Moshe Rothschild here, the Global Israel Alliance, bringing you the summary of the news from Israel for the week ending Friday, August 23rd. So here we go. Of course, we know that the news of the refusal of Israel to grant Tlaib and Omar, U.S. congresswomen, to enter into Israel the story has continued, but it seems to be dying out a bit. And our president Netanyahu again stressed this week that Israel has a sovereign right to deny people who are coming only to weaken the state of Israel. We have the right to deny them access to our country. So again, that story continued a bit this week. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu went to visit Ukraine this week on a 2-day visit to strengthen ties between the two countries. Now, in this visit, agreements were signed and includes cooperation in agriculture, trade, economic development, culture, and education. The Ukrainians are going to be opening a high-tech center here in Israel. People believe that perhaps Netanyahu went to make this deal this week with the Ukrainians to strengthen his position in Israel amongst the Russian voters, but I guess who knows. This week, also, Israel thwarted a terrorist attack. An IDF helicopter and tank opened fire on 5 terrorists attempting to infiltrate Israel from Gaza, and 3 terrorists were killed. 1 was wounded. This incident took place less than 2 hours after 3 rockets were fired into southern Israel from Gaza. I don't believe that I heard Tlaib and Omar condemn these potential terror attacks or the rockets coming from Gaza. Of course, Israel this week retaliated every time there was rocket fire into Israel, and it happened 2 times this week. And Israel retaliated by sending an Air Force to bomb Gaza from the air. This week, it's been reported that Israel has been striking Iranian targets in Iraq. Of course, Israel denies this, or Israel does not acknowledge it, but we do know that a very important part of the agenda in Israel is to prevent Iran from gaining military bases outside of their own country, and so therefore it's honestly, folks, we know it's true that Israel has attacked targets in Iraq. This week, very exciting, is date season. The date harvest began in earnest this week in Israel. Believe it or not, Israel supplies 60% of the global market for medjool dates. That's medjool spelled Medjool, I believe, but we can change it to Mejew. And the medjool dates, 60% of the world's medjool dates coming from Israel. They are amazing, amazing dates. I urge you to go and to find them. It's interesting that the dates are also exported to Arab countries, but not directly, of course, but via third-party brokers. Perhaps this is a game changer. An Arab member of Knesset this week, that's our parliament, announced that he would join a center-left Israeli government. If such a government was to be formed, I don't know. The election is September 17th, but it's very, very, I guess, exciting in some way that to see an Arab MK saying that he would join an Israeli government instead of sitting in the opposition, as they generally always have. Let's see, and some very, very disheartening, terrible news to report. This just today was the funeral for Rina Shenrav, who was killed today. A 17-year-old girl was killed. A 17-year-old girl was killed today. Her 20-year-old brother and her 46-year-old father were wounded by an improvised explosive device, an IED, that was planted by the road by a terrorist north of Ramallah. And they were going on I believe on a hike, and unfortunately Israel buried a 17-year-old girl today. And her father, who had served as a medic in the army, tried very desperately to save her life, and he also attended to the brother. But unfortunately, he was not able to save the life of his daughter. And Rina Shenrav, a 17-year-old teenager, was murdered by Palestinian Arab terrorists. Again, we're waiting for Tlaib and Omar to condemn this, but wouldn't hold your breath. Now, I don't want to end on that story, so end on a feel-good story. Israel this week has at Tel Aviv University, researchers have announced they have the possibility of developing some sort of vaccine for brain cancer to prevent it from metastasizing, and that would be incredible. I know over the last 6 months there's been a lot of reports from Israel about different cancers and potential breakthroughs. Pancreatic cancer we spoke about. So let's just hope and pray that this terrible disease, that we're able to confine it and defeat it and beat it. Hopefully that'll all come out of Israel, and then we'll see what the BDS does when Israel comes up with the world's cure for cancer. So I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Have a wonderful week, and that's it. So hopefully we'll hear some great news this week. Be in touch.